Hi and welcome to this week's reviews and news. And not read so much this week, but you know what it's like, some weeks are like that. I've done more sewing, and January is quite a busy time for me work wise. People want a lot of therapies doing in the month of January, so yeah, can't complain. So the first one I want to review this week is, I read it on my Kindle. It's one that I was sent by the publisher via NetGalley, and it's called 19 Souls. I'm just looking for it here on my NetGalley account, so I can just give you a bit more information about it. I'll turn it that way because I seem to be able to, that's it, feedback sent. It's one of these with the kit, you know, with my tablet. You don't always get the full information if you have it vertical. Right, it came out on the 6th of January, and it's, as I say, it's by J.D. Allen. It's going to be a series, a crime series, mystery and thriller by J.D. Allen. And you'll have to excuse next door. I've waited for better light. You keep waiting and waiting. And it's been really cloudy, overcast here in Scarborough all week, and not getting any better. And then now I'm filming what we've got next door, deciding to do a bit of DIY. Doesn't do any all week. And then Saturday, yeah. Anyway, it's called The 19 Souls, as I've said, and this is a new private investigator, and he's called Jim Bean. And sorry, I only gave it 1 star. I had to stop reading it. I DNF'd it. I just couldn't get into the flow of the writing. I couldn't get into his character, and I think a lot of that is because I've thoroughly enjoyed Robert Galbraith's Cormorant Strike series. I've read all 3 books as Cormorant Strike, being the private investigator, and seen two adaptations on the television. And one of the things that I like about that particular series is the characterizations, the way the main character of Cormorant Strike has been developed. And this feels as if it's along similar vein, but Jim Bean's not Cormorant Strike, and whether that's spoilt it for me, and I can't look at this book, you know, I'm trying to be fair to it here. Recommendations from people that have reviewed it already on NetGalley, it tends to be either people have given it roughly about 4 stars and really liked it, and then the other end of the scale we've had people 1 star, 2 star like myself. So I think it's one of those you'll have to try for yourselves. I didn't care for it. I thought it was a poorer version of Cormorant Strike. So sorry about that. Came out this week, so have a look, see if it's your cup of tea. The next one that, and this is the only one that I've fully finished this week, is Black Diamond by Martin Walker. This is book 3 in the Bruno Chief of Police. As you know, I read book 2 last week and gave it 3.75. This Black Diamond, I gave it 3.5 stars. I really did enjoy it. I feel that the series is now strengthening. I think the plot lines are getting more complex. And so in this particular one, I think there was one particular plot line throughout that was a very strong case. We've got the triads becoming involved, and yes, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the plot development. We didn't get so much characterizations in this, and that's the only reason. You know, I was loving the characterization development in the last one, and I think that's great. It's concentrated on plot lines. So yeah, I'm going to carry on with this series. Really enjoyed it. Yeah, nice to see what the triads are up to in Saint-Denis in France. So that's Black Diamond, Martin Walker. I've started Polar Bear Express. This is by Alex Bell. This is my middle grade choice. If you go and have a look at the video that I posted on Monday, it's another of my new series, Middle Grade Mondays, and this is the book of choice for this week and next week. And I've started it. Yeah, I'm enjoying it so far. I'm only 14 pages in, but I can see I'm enjoying it as an adult, and it certainly would have been my sort of book. Adventure story, a little bit of magical realism in there. So I think this is going to be an exciting read. So I should be finishing that in this next week and a half. So started that, and then as I mentioned last week on pre-order, I had Lullaby. This is by Leila. I'm hoping that's Leila or Leila. Slimani. And yeah, there's quite a lot of buzz about this book being released. It came out on Thursday, and the baby is dead. It only took a few seconds, it says on the front. And a lullaby is I can't talk straight. It's about a nanny who kills the children in her care. Now that's not a spoiler because that's sort of on the blurb. Everybody knows that's what's happened. We then backtrack to find out the backstory of why this happened. Well, you can see I'm really enjoying it already. I've got all sorts of highlighted bits in here. The first chapter is not for the faint-hearted. It is quite distressing. It is the murder scene. So, you know, be prepared for that. It is a little distressing, and so be prepared. But yes, I'm thoroughly enjoying it. I'm loving the writing, and we'll see how we go. I hope I don't end up disappointed with this. A few people that have reviewed it have started off like I have, totally gripped, totally immersed, and then they felt it petered off towards the end. So I hope that's not going to be the case, because so far it's a 5-star read for me. And it's out now, definitely for purchase. That's Lullaby. Okay, so that's all I've got for my reviews. Go to news now. Got a few little news items on here that we're going to cover. Now, I found a new online book club, online read along, and it's called readitrecommendit.com. And it originally started a couple of years ago, not open to the public then, but it was a mum and 3 siblings. No, it's not her 3 siblings. It's like one of the siblings, her 2 sisters and her mum. I didn't want you to think it's a mum's relatives. I'm all confused now. Start again, Catherine. They, as a daughter, her 2 sisters and her mum, decided they were going to start their own little book club amongst themselves. And between them they chose 12 titles, and so all 4 of them, every month they'd got a plan worked out for a 12-month cycle of what book they'd read every month for their own little book club. And they enjoyed that so much that they've now decided they're extending that out into the public domain, and we can join in if we want to. And I thought that was a really nice idea. I think they're over in the States. And the choice they've chosen for January is Before We Were Yours by Lisa Wingate. It's a historical fiction. I've not seen it. I've not come across it. I might see if I can get that from the library. So if you actually go to readitrecommendit.com, you could go on there, find a little bit more about this family, and you'll be able to see more what is in store for the next 12 months if you want to read along on a monthly basis. I think it's one of those you can you know, do as you please, dip in and dip out, or you know, you don't even have to interact with them, you can just read the same books. So I liked the look of that one. Also, I'm probably a bit late to the party with this. Many people might already know this exists, but there is an online book club that is also featured on Goodreads, and it's called Our Shared Self. And this was created by Emma Watson, so Emma Watson of Harry Potter fame, Hermione, and she is an ambassador for the United Nations and an ambassador for women's rights within the United Nations, and decided that she would set up a book club for people to look at the choice of women's fiction that's around today. And there's about 100,000 members now. And I don't think even she thought it would be as popular as that. So yeah, have a look at that. There is a Goodreads group that you can join. If you go on to Our Shared Self on the internet, and it tells you a little bit more about Emma's story, and you can also see some of the interviews that she has with women of importance and women that have fought for rights, you know, currently. You know, it's 100 years since we had the vote, and you know, starting off with the suffragettes and all that in past, and yeah, we should celebrate 100 years. It's the year of the woman. If anybody didn't already know that, 2018 is the year of the woman. And I think this is an excellent book club to see what female fiction is around. Yeah, and see what Emma Watson's up to. I didn't realise that she was a UN ambassador. So there we go. You'll probably all know all this. I'm just coming, you know, coming late to the party, as I say. And now, trending on Twitter at the moment, somebody posted a photograph of their bookshelves with all the spines turned inwards, so all you could see is the edges of the papers. And oh goodness me, it's caused a right furore this week. Furore and uproar, I don't quite know which is the right terminology to say. It's caused a ruckus. It's caused a right ruckus, and people are not impressed with it. And apparently, I think some of it was that it was so that it didn't spoil somebody's colour scheme in their lounge or their room or whatever, which is, yeah, I can understand that's a bit, you know, people could be really outraged by that. It's a little bit fickle, personally. That's my personal opinion, you know. But so, some of, you know, sometimes some of the booktubers, they do that temporarily if they've got a post coming up or they've got a read along, and they, you know, they don't want people to know what the selections are, and don't want them to be spotted on the bookshelf. Then, you know, some of them will turn a little section round of perhaps 8 or 9 books, and you do see them where you can't read the spines, and that's, you know, that's for that particular purpose. But apparently this post was all about, oh, we don't want the colours of the spines of the books. That sounds like a nice little poem, that. We don't want the colours of the spines of the books spoiling our colour scheme. And so, yeah, you'll have to have a look at that. There's a big, there's a whole load of people commenting what they think to that, and yeah. I mean, if you look at most of us book lovers, we buy the books. Sometimes we just buy the books for the pretty spines, the pretty covers or whatever on the bookshelf. So anyway, I'll leave that with you. I'll let you look into that and see what you think to that. And then final bit of news, which I thought we'd leave this post this week on another high, another funny little ditty. Apparently, according to the Independent paper, which we've got in the UK, book readers make the best lovers. That's what they're saying. I mean, you know, us book lovers, we've always known it, but you know, it's out there now, out in the big wide world. And this is this is done in conjunction with the eHarmony, which is a online dating site, and it's from a survey that they've done. Yeah, right. And apparently some statistics here, men who list reading as one of their hobbies gets 19% more interest on this particular dating site. I mean, I don't know much about them, really. But they get 19% more people interested in them than those that aren't readers. So that's quite interesting. And women only get 3%. So yeah, thought you'd like that piece of information to brighten up your weekend. That's it for reviews and news this week. So I'll see you again next time. Bye for now.